Welcome back to Let's Play Oddworld Munch's Oddysee. I'm sure you're getting sick of hearing me say that. Got no better way to introduce myself. Today, we are going to be going through the second Slog hut and coincidentally the last one. You may notice that it looks exactly the same as the last Slog hut, and that's true. Both Slog huts have the exact same level geometry with only obstacles being a bit different. It's a bit lazy. It makes me think that they weren't planning to make a second Slog hut, but they needed to make the game longer. But so we're done with this. I like to think this is the original one because it's a lot more fun than the first Slog hut. Anyway, first what we gotta do is things are still a bit different. We're gonna start off with a weird camera glitch that happens. When I opened the door, Leslie got killed by the grinder by the same time, and now I'm stuck here. And not exactly sure what happened. Trying to run around as Abe doesn't work. Pausing screen doesn't work. Switching to Munch doesn't work. First time this has happened actually. So I just decided to kill myself. At least you get to see what happens when Abe goes into the grinder. Anyway, after that mishap, we can do some platforming. It's a bit more involved in this beginning section of the Slog hut. Fortunately, it's got this really weird little platform here, and considering how finicky the jumping is, I have a bit of trouble with it. Gotta be real careful here. You can see I'm just like concentrating on the camera, making sure to get the perfect angle. It works. And you see a sign there that says, "Give your slog a bone." That's a throwback to Abe's Exodus. I don't think it was in Abe's Oddysee, but in Abe's Exodus, in a particular area, that sign was around everywhere in a place called Boneworks. There are a lot of slogs there, and slogs like bones, so gotta give your slog a bone to make him happy. Of course, it doesn't really work in this game since, like you've seen before, slogs and slugs aren't exactly good with each other. And after that, it's the same old thing, just gotta throw everyone into the meat grinder. Hope you weren't enjoying it too much, because we won't be able to see the recycling machine again for a long time. Like, I'm talking about end game long time. Perfect. Now all the scrubs are safe. To be fair, I don't really think you have to kill all these slogs, but chances are when you're gathering up the scrubs together, you're gonna have them thrown into the slog pits, and the slogs will attack the scrubs, even if they're just standing around there. So I'd rather not take the chances. I don't know. I feel kind of bad for killing the slogs, because they didn't really do anything wrong. They're just little guard dogs. Or meat dogs. I don't know why the slogs are here. Like, what does the slog hut do? It's never really explained. Maybe they eat slogs or breed them? I'm not sure. It doesn't really look like sanitary conditions for them.
Be careful with these Budokan scrubs. If you want to get out of the slog hut alive, you're gonna need them.
Just like in the last level, we're gonna need all, well, not all the scrubs, but most of these scrubs in the level to beat it. You notice that there is yet again another hallway of death ahead of us. It's not as bad as the one in the last Slog hut, and I don't even call it a hall of death. I call it the hall of explosions. You'll see why in a second, or a minute. The zap machine and the snoozer should be indication that Munch will be a lot more involved with actually fighting enemies than just throwing them into grinders. So here it is, Hall of Explosions. All it is a bunch of sligs pulling levers to make powder kegs drop and explode. There should be no... I can't tell you what the purpose of this is, how it helps with anything. Maybe it's cleanup day. Maybe that those powder cakes just have a bunch of garbage in them that they need to get rid of, and they want to make it look pretty. Whatever. Just makes the level be the level. Either way, I'm actually surprised that I was able to get rid of all 4 Sligs with one zap can. Usually I have to go back and backtrack, so you're in for a treat. In our position of snoozer, we can navigate through these explosions. You may notice that there are some Sligs still left alive. They'll be somewhat taken care of. You can take care of them later on in the level, but it ends up being way too much trouble than it's worth. So you might just want to navigate and deal with the explosions. They're not that bad. So same just here as last time we used the snoozer, just make all the enemies fall asleep, otherwise they'll just be bugging us. I actually forget that there is a group of popper Sligs at the very end of that hallway there, and bites me back not so long later. And once I can pick up these scrubs, I can actually move on with the level. Alright, so now we gotta do something similar to last time. I have to carry each scrub through this hallway. It's not as bad as the last Slog hut because you don't have to drink espresso the whole time and you're not in a real rush or anything. No Slogs are chasing you. Just gotta go through these explosions, and here's a group of gunned up Sligs I mentioned before. They actually didn't really do much damage to me. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's as simple as a level as it gets. The inclusion of the snoozer does make it somewhat more entertaining though. And there's a bunch of levers here, you gotta get enough scrubs to pull levers and you'll be good. You're fine and done. As I mentioned before, you can get rid of the Sligs pulling the explosion crates, and when it does, the whole room becomes very eerily quiet. And I don't bother doing it, but you can actually possess the popper Sligs at the end and have them shoot the ones pulling the levers off the ledges. I'm not even sure how they got up there in the first place, and just kill them straight off from there, but it takes way too long. And yeah, there are scrubs working in the middle of the explosions. I'm not sure why anyone thought that was a good idea, but they're doing it. Should be cutting this out any time though. There are times where the Sligs are going to have to wake up and you're going to have to repossess the snoozer again to shoot them down, but it doesn't take any longer than a minute or so. And there we go. That was our cut. This is the last scrub to carry back. It's not too big of a deal. These guys are awake again. I don't even bother. And there we go. There should be all scrubs in the level. It's a lot shorter and less tedious than the last one, like I said. And you might see a new vendo machine there, an invisible vendo. What would we need that for? Well, we haven't saved all the scrubs. There are still a couple left. 4 more to be exact. Now, where could these scrubs be? These scrubs are in some very peculiar areas. They aren't exactly difficult to get through, and what am I doing here? I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Ah, right, I'm just possessing this dude to kill off all these gunner Sligs so they stop bugging me. Like I said, they're more of a nuisance than anything, but might as well get rid of them now, and they're already pretty weak from the snoozer bashing them up a bit. So, with a combination of the invisible power-up and the bounce power-up, we are able to reach some places without getting attacked. If you probably already know where it is. These scrubs are located behind the other 4 sligs that are pulling their own powder keg levers. Just gotta throw them off. And something interesting to note is that... Oh, I haven't done it yet. Excuse me. I'm gonna keep it as a secret because it's something that a lot of people that have played the game probably don't know about. Right now, since just can't hear you, if you whack, if you even attack, like make Abe swipe his hand while invisible, the power-up will go away instantly. So, might want to keep your fingers careful. Like, don't talk or anything, just gotta be quiet. Then it's the same old thing again. Gotta carry these sligs over. And I love that camera angle with Snoozer, how he's just walking up there, looking all cool. Should note that scrubs don't get hurt by the Snoozer. They don't get knocked out or anything, which is a relief, because then it'd be a lot more trouble to work with them. And final thing to note about these scrubs is to be careful not to throw them into the blast radius of the powder kegs, because that'll just end up being pretty dangerous for them. I almost did it this playthrough too, I think. One slig made it through. Excuse me. Just gotta dart this guy to submission. There we go. And with that final cut, we have all these scrubs all rounded up and saved. Once I can jump into the well. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's happening, Abe?
Perfect warm. Perfect. And now I get to show you a little fun thing you can do with the invisible vendor, which you can't really do without it. I don't think so, at least. In early videos showing Munch's Oddysee, you were shown Abe carrying some sligs and throwing them out of windows. You can't throw them out of windows, but you can still carry sligs. Funnily enough, none of the other sligs really notice, they just kind of laugh at him. So you can't throw them out windows, but... And it's really, this is really pointless, you can't really do much with it, but you can throw them in wells, I guess, and just have a grand old time with them. Whatever. I think it's a feature that not a lot of people know are still in the game, because it's not really required to know it. But I thought it'd be neat to show off anyway. Alright, finally. Slog cuts are over. Worst part of the game over. Next time in Let's Play Oddworld Munch's Oddysee, we'll get stuff. Somehow the slog cuts burst and exploded into flames from what we did in them. Makes sense, I guess. Not really. Anyway, Paramite runs our next level. It'll bring out the huge spurge in me. Until then, I'm Matrixer. I'll see you later.